Robots in our lives are very much becoming the norm. There's been a lot of talk about dolls that can be created to do one specific job, and that is to bring joy to partners in certain departments. For the past few years, these dolls have been aimed at a male audience, but now robotic companies are working on creating robots for females, and some researchers have said that if they're created correctly and are a hit, they could replace men entirely. The robots will be made for the sole purpose of fulfilling certain needs, and so far people that have been shown these robots and have seen the videos are torn. Some think that these could make good company, and others who think the whole idea is a bit creepy. Regardless what you think, these robot creations are being made and are selling. Companies have said the numbers show that people are interested in this type of relationship, and that it's not just men who are buying these, as numbers show male dolls are selling faster than ever. Companies behind these creations have said that to get your new man working, all you have to do is charge him, and once charged he will be able to last for hours. The robots are also able to respond to what you say, with companies saying this is something they're working on, and ideally in the future male robots will be able to have full conversations with their partners. Scientists who study human interaction and the human brain have said this is a worrying path we're going down. One female scientist said the following: "I think that within the next 10 to 20 years you're going to see a huge increase in these robots. I believe men are an important part of society, but an interesting question here is, could they be replaced by these robots? If companies can create them so they can fulfill women's needs, I think it's very possible." End quote. However, others are not so open to the idea, and think that creating them in the first place will only have negative effects. Some say that it will only cause people to lose things like their social skills. After all, if you get to the point in which you're able to order in one of these dolls and they get to the point in which they can help around the house, we could see a huge increase in people becoming introverts and losing their social skills. Not only this, but another thing that's been brought up is that is it healthy to have this kind of relationship with a robot? Those who speak against this say, do we really want to get rid of a real human experience and replace it with a robot? These male robots might be able to bring you pleasure in certain ways, but some have worried that it will leave you feeling cold by the end. Unless they are developed to the point in which you can have a conversation with them, what would be the point in doing this with them? One of the key things that companies are working towards is bringing women the perfect male partner. One of the problems with this though is that perfect is subjective. So what one woman may find attractive in a man, another woman doesn't. Opinions on looks and what they should sound like aren't facts, so it's going to be tricky to find a balance that will be universally loved by women. One way these companies are working to ensure that this partner is perfect is by ensuring that it's not just good at one thing, but rather it will be able to help a woman in all aspects of her life. One idea that's been looked into is trying to make sure that this robot is a life partner to a woman, and that it can support her in a variety of different ways. There are some companies that say this would work great for most people, and that you wouldn't have to nag these robots or tell them what to do, as they would already be programmed to do what you tell them. This has of course caused some to say that what you're actually buying is a servant rather than a lifelong partner. Not everyone is a fan though. One woman said the following: "I can understand what they're trying to achieve, and I'm sure that some women would like this, but for me this just seems like an unhealthy approach to fix some issues women may have. Instead of teaching women that they can create the perfect male robot, how about teaching them about what's important for them to love themselves, and why they shouldn't settle if they're in a bad relationship? Creating a robot that is your perfect man seems like a good idea on paper, but the bottom line here is that they will always be a robot. Their emotions won't be raw. They won't have a backstory. They won't have a family, and everything will feel artificially created to suit you. And knowing that kind of takes the fun out of it." End quote. Well, this man said the following: "I've read these articles and they have me intrigued. I've heard that they also plan to bring them out for men, and if they did, I would definitely get one. I'm socially awkward and I've never had a girlfriend. Every time I try to interact with girls, I just clam up, and I end up making a fool out of myself. It then sets me back and puts me off talking to girls in the future. I can live with that because it's just how I am. I have a really tough time around girls, but for me this would make me feel a lot more relaxed. I would feel like I wasn't being constantly judged. So for me, if something like this came out just for men, I would definitely invest. I feel like a lot of men who struggle to talk to girls would buy one of these." End quote. So what do you make of this idea? These companies are aiming to bring out both male and female robots. Would you ever consider buying one of these? And do you think it could actually work in the real world? Also, do you think it's healthy if someone bought one of these as a life partner? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.